All right, this is the first installment of the Sports Media Club. This is going to be the Super Bowl preview of the Rams and Patriots. I'm Ryan Sanudo, and here is Will Pesek, Corey Pecard, and Louis Fray. Now, I'm a senior. These guys are young, and so they're trying to get a little bit of a reel going on for their future. So we're going to start off with obviously the Super Bowl, but first, the NBA has been rapid. I mean, the Porzingis deal is just being confirmed right now. They're pretty much trying to steal a limelight of the NFL. Wouldn't you agree, right?
Yeah, I would say so. And I would say also the NHL, with the trade deadline coming up in there. Of course, I'm just going to be like a biased hockey fan because that's how I am. Yeah. But other than that, it seems like the Super Bowl has almost been forgotten because, also, it's partly because you go from having 3 consecutive weeks of straight NFL playoffs to having a Pro Bowl that nobody wants to watch, and
the Pro Bowl, don't get me started.
You hear reports of Jamal Adams tackling the Patriots mascot on media day. But
that's exactly. And also, the Rams Saints call that was not.
That's got a lot of talk.
That's been the talk. Goodell the other day. So pretty much no one's talking about the Super Bowl. They're talking about the past. But anyway, we're gonna have a little bit of analysis over this game on Sunday. Starting off with Jared Goff, this is his first
Super Bowl,
Super Bowl, and it's kind of sort of like Warner and Brady. Warner was older and Brady was younger. This is similar, right?
Only this time the Rams are the underdogs, so we'll see if they can get revenge.
I'm actually glad you said that because coming into the playoffs, everybody thought the Rams were not going to be the underdog. The Rams were going to be the favorite. Actually, heading into the playoffs, the Patriots were the underdog, and now when you have the Patriots with 2 excellent wins, you have guys that were factors in the playoffs that were not a factor all season. Gronkowski, Hogan, Edelman, Sony Michel. Those guys have been excellent in the playoffs. But now you go from a guy that wasn't even projected to win a playoff game in Tom Brady to now them being the favorite to win the whole thing.
I'll say this, in terms of coaching, this team is one of the most least talented Patriots teams that they've ever gone to the Super Bowl, right?
There's no superstars. The Patriots never have superstars, but at least they have usually some pretty outstanding players.
That too from the AFC, for the Dolphins.
Gronkowski hasn't been the same at all, and their whole team. This was an off season for them. They went 3-5 on the road, and we expected them to lose on the road in Kansas City, and the playoff Patriots came out, and it's.
You got to hand it to Belichick. Belichick is really, taking the proper measures. They took most of that clock away from the Chiefs in the first quarter. If they can try to do that in the Super Bowl, that's going to be huge. They win that coin toss. They get the ball. They take away the clock. That clock is the Patriots' best friend.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm 18 years old. I'm going to be 19 in June. 18 years I've existed on this earth.
Yeah.
This is the 9th time the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl, which means more than half of my life, the Patriots have been in a Super Bowl game. They have 4 rings.
It's torture.
I'm tired of it.
It's torture. You're a Giants fan, and you've actually seen progress. You've seen the Mannings beat Brady. I got to thank you, by the way. 2 times Eli has beaten the Patriots. If it wasn't for that, he'd have how many? 7.
He has 4. He lost 2 to Eli.
Oh, he has 5. He has 5 right now.
2 to Eli, 1 to Carson Wentz. I'm sorry. Nick Foles' Eagles at the time.
And
I think to not Peyton Manning, Peyton beat Cam Newton. I don't know who else he lost to.
In the play, Mark Sanchez.
No.
These Jets.
He's only lost the 9th is this year.
The last time.
So he has 5 rings.
5-3. Yep.
He's 5-3 and he has 3 losses.
The last time the Patriots didn't make the AFC Championship, they lost to the Jets.
Mark Sanchez. Yeah.
And ever since then, they've been to at least a championship game. So it's crazy, I think for the Rams, they have a young team, obviously a young coach in McVay, and all these teams are trying to steal that secret formula of getting this young, innovative head coach into the system. You're seeing Kingsbury with the Cardinals. What can you make of it? It's an epidemic, right?
Seeing what McVay did with the Rams and seeing what Doug Peterson did with the Eagles, seeing what Andy Reid did with the Chiefs, you're seeing what an offensive-minded head coach could do in a time like this. To me, I don't really know if Belichick has a forte, whether it's offense or defense, because it seems like whenever he's on the field, both sides of the offense and defense, both sides of the football come to play. Yeah. And I think that's huge. And maybe, there were talks last year Belichick was going to go coach the Giants. You must have been happy to hear that, but you're seeing what an offensive-minded head coach could do.
Yeah.
But what is a Bill Belichick?
I believe he was a defensive guru before.
Because everybody now wants this offensive guru because of Sean
the
McVay.
Patriots are doing, it's basically Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is heading that offense. Belichick is pretty much pushing the right buttons on all cylinders. Sort of like, not as a caliber as Belichick, but sort of like a John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is similar. He has expertises in defense and offense, and that's very hard to come by. Now you're seeing a lot of these teams. They're getting, Vic Fangio for the Denver Broncos. He's a defensive guy. You're seeing the Jets with Adam Gase. He's an offensive guy. You're not seeing the Belichicks in this world anymore. It's an offensive league, and you're just trying to get these young guns like a Kingsbury. Even Matt Rule from Baylor was getting some talk. So that's pretty much what the NFL has come to right now.
Yeah, and Belichick, when you look at what he's done, it's more of he's just an authoritative figure that's really good with his system. I mean, he has guys that fit into his system, which he doesn't need the big name players. He has the guys like the Julian Edelmans, the Danny Amendolas that he makes stars out of because.
And you had a guy, Chris Hogan, with 4 years ago, whatever how long it was, got a phone call while stocking shelves at a supermarket. Hey, this is Bill Belichick. Come play for us at the Super Bowl next week. What happens? The guy goes on a tear.
Yeah.
And he's been a superstar wide receiver for the Patriots ever since. Yeah. They get guys out of nowhere.
And listen, Brandon Cooks, I mean, they traded him away, and now he's on the Rams, and the Patriots really don't need him. Yeah. They don't need Brandon Cooks. They got rid of Josh Gordon. I thought Josh Gordon was going to be a big key for them because they need a downfield
Well, of course.
threat. You don't need those guys.
Whoever the Jets miss out on, the Patriots team to get and turn them into superstars. But
simple as that.
When they traded for Brandon Cooks, I didn't think it was necessary. Like, this is a top-level wide receiver, but at the same time, this is the Patriots system. They don't need that type of guy. The only receiver that they've had is Randy Moss. That wasn't like a guy that could not do it. Like Danny Amendola, he's a Dolphin. I'm a Dolphins fan. He didn't do anything with the Dolphins this year. It's the system. Brandon Cooks was not a necessary add for that team, and
it's all coaching. And I think the biggest key for the Patriots is establishing the run. That's what they did against the Chiefs, and I think that's the big test for Wade Phillips and his crew. I mean, they got to stop the run first. I mean, we all know Brady can throw the football, obviously.
I was just about to agree with you on that.
But there's how they start the game. They try to run the football, and listen, it's up to Dante Fowler to secure the edge. Same thing with Donald and
Ndamukong Suh.
And Ndamukong Suh in the interior. And listen, what they're going to do, they're going to double team those guys, and they're going to try to make Fowler make those plays. And I think Fowler is a big key. I know Donald is so dominant, and there's some times where he gets double teamed and he still manages to find a way. But listen, not all the time it's going to happen. So it's pretty much the edge guys have to step up as well.
I think for the Rams to be successful and win the Super Bowl, which I don't think is going to happen because I think now you're starting to believe the Patriots are going to win another Super Bowl.
And listen, this underdog thing is such nonsense. I mean, a couple guys like Max Kellerman and everything, they're just trying to get views and everything. They were favored to go to the Super Bowl this year, the most favored. And they're not the underdogs. I don't get that.
I think what's going to be a big key for the Rams is coming down to two things. Is you have to get Jared Goff going early. You can't have Jared Goff sit in the pocket and throw screens and run the ball. You have to get him to throw to his receivers. You have to let him throw to Brandon Cooks. Give him screen passes to Todd Gurley. Let him run. But a big key to this is giving the ball to Jared Goff early and also stopping the Patriots offense. Because you saw what Rob Gronkowski did in the fourth quarter against Kansas City. Who knows? It could come down to a fourth quarter drive on Sunday, and Gronkowski and Brady are that dynamic duo. So a big thing for the Rams is they got to stop the Patriots offense, and you have to get Jared Goff going early to restore some confidence.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with this Super Bowl, I think it's different for the Patriots, is they have a running game now. This is new for teams. When was the last time the Patriots had as good of a running back as Sonny Michel?
Yeah, first year too.
Never,
first
really.
year.
So this is all new. Now I have to worry not just about Tom Brady and Julian Edelman and all those guys, and Robert Gronkowski. You got to worry about Sonny Michel, like a running back. Are you kidding me?
UGA made, exactly.
And when you talk about what the Rams need to do, they need to establish a pass rush. We saw the Chiefs with Chris Jones and Dee Ford. They couldn't do it last week. They couldn't, or 2 weeks ago. They couldn't get to Brady. They need to establish a pass rush. They need to get to Brady. I saw a stat. He's 25-6 when he's sacked three or less times in the playoffs.
Simple as that. You saw the Broncos a couple years ago with Von Miller and all those guys, and they were able to do it. And it's up to, I think, Aaron Donald. Those are the guys that
Rams have the tools. They have Aaron Donald, Sue, Brockers, Fowler. They just need to get to him.
So, that's the thing. And also, listen, what they have to do with Goff, I think they have to have Brandon Cooks available at all times. And I think Gilmore's going to be on him, so that's going to be a tough task. But listen, Brandon Cooks can't have 2 catches and they win. That can't happen. That can't happen, exactly. Tyreek Hill, perfect example. Tyreek Hill had, 1 reception?
Yeah, they shut him
down.
down.
And they shut him down, and look what happened. So that's a big formula. I mean, Robert Woods is a formidable receiver, but they could have used Cooper Kupp in this Super Bowl. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's a big key for their success.
Hey, but they're playing well without him.
Yeah, they are.
They made it this far without him.
And this is just goes to show you that teams that win a Super Bowl, they have to have depth.
Yeah.
And if any sport, you have to have depth at certain positions.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, I mean, look at the Saints. The Saints didn't have depth in previous years.
Yeah.
So when you saw what they could do and everybody stays healthy, they were at least a favorite to go to the NFC Championship game, which they did. But you need to have depth on a team, and I think this is what the Rams do have.
Yeah, and also the Rams were 3rd in picks this year. And that's a huge thing because, you need to get that pick at the right moment. You have to get it at the 4th quarter. And look how the Eagles won last year. They got a fumble. I think turnovers are huge. You saw, Brady's not like the Brady we saw from 10 years ago. He's great. I'm not saying he's not great, but you saw the pick in the red zone. That can happen. You know?
That it's also a special team.
You just need one little mistake.
You can't have a Cody Parkey incident.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 4th quarter, you can't have Cody Parkey.
I don't think Brady can be. They don't have to be. Brady doesn't have to be perfect for them to win, but honestly, just get that right turnover at the right time and get your team into field goal range because Greg Zuerlein, he can hit from 57, and they're in a dome, so that's going to be huge. So that's certainly, they don't have a Cody Parkey. Zuerlein hit 57 in the overtime, so that's going to be huge.
Let's all ask ourselves a question here. Are we really doubting Tom Brady in this game this week?
No, I'm not doubting him.
I don't see how you can. I could see in the game against who they played the first playoffs. The Colts,
Chargers.
right? No,
the Patriots?
Chargers. The Chargers.
Yeah.
I could see them doubting against the Chargers. The Chargers are a younger team.
Yeah.
They were the better team in the regular season.
Yeah.
But after what he's proven in the playoffs, he's beaten what is going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year, possibly MVP, Patrick Mahomes. He's beaten Phillip Rivers, who's had a season that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
When he was supposed to win nothing this season. They had a mediocre season. And what's crazy to think about it, this Patriots team went, 11-5 this year?
Yeah.
12-5?
12-4, I think.
12-4.
Right around there.
It's crazy to think that a team that goes 12-4 is having a bad season. As a Jet fan, I die for 8-8.
Yeah.
And as a Patriot fan, they're here ready to jump off bridges having a 12-4 season.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that the dynasty is close to being over, but I would say for the next 2 to 3.
Every year, people are like, this is the year, this is the year, this is the year. Every year, it just continues. Is the dynasty really over?
I think he said that he wants to play till he's 45. How old is he right now? 41?
41, I believe.
41 right there.
When he gets to 45, he'll say he wants to play to 50.
I think we'll get, after this Super Bowl, I think we'll get to one more Super Bowl. But I'm not going to, listen, Brady was great this year, but there is a couple instances where you're seeing the age. I'm not saying all the time, but a couple times. And I was looking at film this year. I was looking at Pro Football Focus quarterbacks, top 10. Back end though. He's not like the top 5 quarterback that you've seen. And obviously age shows, and he's 41. But the whole thing to get to Brady is pressure, like you said earlier. And you can't have him have a clean pocket. You can't have him have 5 seconds.
That's the key.
So you can't. The whole formula that they were doing with the Chiefs a couple weeks ago, that can't happen. That's why Bob Sutton got fired. You can't have guys.
There's
drop back
been
in coverage.
rumors.
You got to put some pressure.
There's been rumors that after what Tony Romo did in that game between the Patriots and the Chiefs, the guy's a wizard. The guy can predict the play. There's talk that Bill Belichick was upset at Tony Romo because he's pretty much telling the Rams, this is exactly what the Patriots are doing. This guy's going to get the ball. Study that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Romo got into coaching at some point in his career.
That was
You already saw
after that game.
Kellen Moore got announced as the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, and he was a quarterback 5 years ago with Boise State. I mean, this is happening right before our very own eyes. These guys are young guns.
But he's a wizard.
He is a wizard.
This guy
He is a wizard, man. He is.
Just imagine the Jets hire him. We would go undefeated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be able to apply it on the field in the moment.
Hey,
Like,
I will say this though.
at that position.
He wanted Andy Reid to call a timeout when they were getting third down after third down in the overtime. He was like, call the timeout, call the timeout. Your defense is weak right now. You need to get back into the huddle.
Yeah.
And they weren't calling a timeout. He would have called a timeout there. I don't know if it would have changed anything, but listen,
The guy is just
he knows his stuff, and
yeah.
it shows. And the ratings have gone through the roof, you know. And I think CBS is going to give him another contract.
He'll be on.
obviously.
He'll be on.
He's no
Sunday.
Jason Witten, where Jason Witten doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I think he's got some CTE
He'll be on
in the brain
Sunday,
or something like that. Yeah,
at the Super
he
Bowl,
almost
so.
messed up the Pro Bowl award. Did you
broke
see he
the
dropped it
trophy.
and everything?
Yeah.
he broke it.
Yeah, right? So it's amazing. And like I said earlier, the Super Bowls always seem to be close. So I expect it to be close. As much as I'm picking the Patriots, I'm not going to say anything if you take the Rams.
I cannot pick the Patriots.
I can't pick them, but I'm rooting for the Rams. But I think the Patriots win because,
I'm
of course.
rooting for the
But
Rams, and I refuse to let
Yeah.
my brain take over that decision.
Yeah, what about you?
I think the Patriots will win, but if the Rams put pressure on Brady, they're gonna win. The Rams will win.
It's a big if. It's a big if. Because their offensive line has been very nice this year.
Been good, but if Aaron Donald and Fowler can get pressure on Brady,
Absolutely.
they're gonna win. Because every year the
And
Giants,
their
the
Patriots are
Giants
so
twice.
cocky right now. And I'm not going to say cocky, but just like
They
they're doing
are.
this
They're
don't
trying-
doubt us.
But
don't
they have
doubt
every
us
right to
BS.
be because this was a team that again came into this playoffs with the expectations
saw a
of winning nothing.
An
I'm not gonna
Eagles
say
team last year beat them. I think the Rams team this year could, if they follow that formula.
Yeah.
They put pressure on
It's a lot of
They were
hope, but I also
favored.
think
They're going to be the
it's
most
Against
betted on
Chiefs.
team to ever, in the Super Bowl. I'm hearing like the bets are going to be crazy. Like the Patriots are going to be the most betted team to be in a Super Bowl. So I don't know how you can say they're underdogs, really, because everyone's betting on the Patriots
They're
to win.
pretending they are.
They're all
It's
betting
just
on them
that
to win.
mentality.
They were
They're
favored
cocky.
before the year to
They're
make the Super Bowl.
They're using the ego mentality of last year's
Yeah,
underdogs.
yeah. The Eagles were different though because like their
They-
quarterback was down, and I'm the first to say
Yeah, but Nick
I
Foles
doubted the
isn't
Eagles
your
last
average-
year.
Nick
I did,
Foles wasn't your
and I
average.
doubted them in the Super Bowl. I'm not doubting the Patriots in the
No.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just not.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as a Jet fan, I obviously want to see the Patriots
Yeah.
lose, but I just, as a fan wise, I'm hoping the Rams win, but I can't see how they win unless they get Goff going early, and they stop the Patriots run game. That's going to be huge, and they have to have.
Donald.
No, who's their quarterback?
Golf.
Stephen Gilmore, what are you talking about?
No,
Cornerback.
Nickel.
Talib Peters.
Who's the guy that interfered with the guy for
Oh, Roby Coleman.
Oh,
Roby Coleman, yeah.
Coleman.
They
I was-
need
yeah.
him and Talib
That's-
to stay on Gronkowski because if they don't, they will
Coleman's
lose
going
this
to be
game.
on Edelman. Talib's going to be on Gronkowski because Talib is more of a physical guy.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be because first of all, Talib was a Patriot and he knows Gronk's tendencies. Talib is more of a guy that's physical. What?
Knows his weak points are too, like his knees and
Yeah,
their ankles,
like
whatever the heck.
it was so. I mean, there were a couple times where I saw it, and Romo saw it too, and I was like, you know what? Right before the game, right before the play, I'm like, you know what? Gronk is wide open right there on the left side. Like that's one-on-one matchup that can easily be done. And sure enough, I was like, you know what? That is just you can't let that happen. And a physical cornerback has to deal with that, and Talib should be the guy. So. Yeah, but anyway, so talking about trying to get to other topics. C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson's a running back, obviously for the Rams, and listen, he's a little bit chubby, right? You see him; he's like a little chubby running back, like a miniature Jerome Bettis.
That
out there.
could be two good things
That's-
because you
yeah.
have C.J. Anderson and you have Todd Gurley, who, in my opinion, is the best running back in football right now. I think he's better than Saquon Barkley. I think he's better than, Zeke. I think Todd Gurley is the guy
I think
right now.
Barkley's better than Gurley, but go right ahead. I think Saquon's better.
Having a guy like C.J. Anderson, who's
Yeah.
a little bit bulkier, is a big thing because if
Pace.
it's like exactly,
Yeah.
if the game is going fast and you're cruising, you're keeping Gurley. But if you're losing and you got to slow the game down,
Exactly,
you
because I
got to
think
give it to
C.J.
Anderson.
Anderson's that guy that can get you 3 to like 7.
Yeah.
All right. Gurley is the guy that gets you
10,
7
yeah.
to
50,
70
yeah.
yards. Like he's the guy that can get you that.
Or he gets stopped for
Because
1
C.J. Anderson,
yard.
let's be honest. Like I think he's an okay running back, but like he can't get 80-yard touchdown. That's just that's not in his arsenal. Like that's another story. That's for Todd Gurley to get those big runs. C.J. Anderson, if it's a 2nd and 4, and go to stretch right, give it to Anderson, get that first down. You can do that. So with McVay, I'm not going to doubt McVay. I know we're saying don't doubt the Patriots, but McVay, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, man. Like, he's got a photographic memory. Like, you can just ask him something 25 years ago when he was like 4 years old, and he'll remember like it was a go action, play action route to the right. The linebacker slipped, went for 30. Like, that's just showing McVay's DNA.
Yeah, and this is a Rams team that beat New Orleans, who was one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl in that stadium.
In a dome.
Corey and I had.
We can't doubt the Rams either.
Corey and I's podcast, the Sensational Sports Trio, which actually we have tonight in a half hour.
Yeah.
You can find that on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Talking myself up. Yeah.
Promo.
We actually spoke about what Corey's talking about.
The Rams.
My pick for the Super Bowl win.
Both of ours. We had the same.
We both picked the Saints.
And the Chiefs.
I don't blame you, because I had the same thing. I wasn't. Listen, I think I got the Bears game wrong against the Eagles. Like, mostly everyone got that wrong. I'm trying to think what else. And the championship games, I was 0 for 2. Like, that was big, but you can't blame yourself because like it went into overtime both times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't really like say, I
And those were two of the hardest stadiums to play in too, and both road teams came out victorious.
Yeah, like I'm the first one to say I got the Eagles wrong last year. I mean, the Vikings last year, I thought the Vikings would win that game, and they didn't. They got blown out. They got that touchdown early, and then the Eagles go off. Like, the NFL is so unpredictable. Listen, I expect a great Super Bowl, and if the Rams do win the Super Bowl, who's your MVP?
It's either going to be
sometimes the quarterback, but
I think it's either going to be Goff or it's probably going to be Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
because you saw Von Miller win it one year when they beat
exactly Newton.
Exactly, it depends on the score. If it's a high scoring game, it's Goff or Gurley. But we've seen a lot of Anderson.
Yeah, Gurley, he's been struggling.
So. If it's the Patriots,
and I think it might be a little bit of an injury situation too.
Has his knee been bothering him?
Yeah.
If it is the Patriots, it's probably going to go to Brady or Gronkowski.
It's going to Brady.
I would put my money on Brady.
Like, over the last few Super
Depending, like if it's a fourth quarter drive, they tie it up and they go to overtime and win the game. It's going to go to Brady. Like,
Don't say that. Don't say that again.
I could picture it. It's the same story
unless it's like a Troy Brown type
year.
of thing where the wide receiver gets the MVP, maybe a Michelle type of guy. But I'd put my money on Brady.
Golfer, if it's low scoring game, it has to be Donald. If their defense is able to stop them, it's Donald. He's the best player.
Donald's the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I can't even make the argument against that because I saw Khalil Mack against the Eagles. Didn't do a whole lot.
If you watch Donald, if you just watch him for a play, it's crazy. He blows up offensive line.
Yeah, and he wasn't even a top 5 pick in the draft. It's insane. It's hard to predict. In sports, the draft is coming up, and you think, Nick Bosa's the consensus guy, right? You never know. Maybe a guy like Josh Allen is the guy that's going to be the best. Khalil Mack came out of Buffalo, and Josh Allen is coming out of Kentucky. Some of these guys just come out of nowhere and just start to ball in this league, so it's crazy to say. For the Patriots, though, since Week 12, they've had one of the best rush rates in the NFL. They can get to the quarterback, and you saw with Mahomes, got him a little, got him for
especially that first half.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
And Mahomes is a young gun, and similar to Goff, he's young. And listen, I like Goff. I think probably if you have to rank out of all the quarterbacks, I think he's
top 5.
Top 10. I'm gonna say top 10, like back end top 10.
Maybe 7.
And look, he was MVP the first 10 weeks, right? And then he sort of started to like.
I'll give you that. So if I'm gonna label the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, I would say the best quarterback right now in the NFL is probably Tom Brady.
I'm gonna put Mahomes. I'm gonna say Mahomes.
Okay. I put
Mahomes.
Brady 1. I put Mahomes 2. Drew Brees is my 3rd pick. My 4th pick is Jared Goff.
Wow.
Over Rodgers.
My 5th pick is not Rodgers.
Oh man. Oh Jesus.
My 5th pick is Cam Newton.
Goodness. You think Cam Newton's better?
And then I have Aaron Rodgers at 6.
That's controversial.
He had a really bad season this year.
Listen, I'm putting a lot of the blame on Rodgers this year because, listen, I will agree with you. Like, he didn't have the great games. Like, even against the Vikings, he didn't do that well.
And when you have guys like Patrick Mahomes.
But listen, McCarthy, I couldn't stand this year. McCarthy could not call plays this year.
You would have been the new Jets head coach.
And I didn't want it. I didn't want McCarthy. I did not want McCarthy. So, Give me your predictions for this Super Bowl. What you think the score will be? I'm going to start with you, Louis.
I got the Patriots 20-21. I think it's going to be a close one. It's always close.
Wait, what's the score?
20-21.
21-20.
28-21.
Oh, 28-21. Okay, I didn't hear you. So no field goals. No Zerline field goals. I'm putting my money on Zerline field goals.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go over under 2 field goals. I'm going to say, I think it's split. I think Zerline's getting 2 field goals in this game because, listen, I think the Patriots they have a formidable defense, but McVay, you saw a couple instances in that game where McVay, even on the 1-yard line, he didn't go for it. Mm-hmm. He didn't go for it at the end of the game. And I was like, you know what? Expect Zerline to be a key factor. And he's got a great leg. You know, he's probably Rosas is one of the best, and then it's probably him, Zerline. He really knows how to kick the ball. He's not a Cody Parkey right now.
Cody Parkey.
So
is the guy right now.
So what's your score?
I haven't even thought about this.
I'm doing this on the spot too, so I'm thinking right now.
Let's see. Say 27-23 Rams, I guess. It'll be close, I think.
Gotcha.
But I can't have the Patriots winning. I can't allow myself to.
I'm pretty good at predicting this stuff, and I'm not trying to talk myself up. But whenever I'm watching an Islander game, I'll tell my dad, "Hey, Beauvillier's about to score," and he'll literally score. Like I was watching the first game back at the Coliseum, and I was like, "Cam, Islanders are going to score here." And they come back and score. So I'm going to go off on a limb here, and I'm going to say I want the Rams to win, but I think the Patriots will win.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, because I'm a Jets fan, I'm going to go with the Rams. But again, I think the Patriots will win, but I'm not picking the Patriots. I'm picking the Rams. So my score for the Rams, 18-15 overtime.
18-15.
Aaron
That's
Donald
a
MVP.
weird ass.
If that's the score,
number.
Aaron Donald MVP.
I'm just
So
saying.
Patriots are going to get safety.
18-15.
Wait,
Has there ever been
so
safety in the Super Bowl?
six Zerline
I think there
field
has.
goals?
I think there has. Well, first the Seahawks game, 43-8. That messed up a lot of pools in that first quarter.
yeah.
I remember that. I'm actually in a pool where I think the first quarter has to be like 7-7. So I get money if that happens. I'm going to say this is the first Super Bowl. This is not going to be a close game. 30-20, not as close as the Giants was close. The Eagles.
It's always close.
But
Every
this is
Super Bowl has
But
to
this
be
is
like
10
one
points. I'm saying
possession.
this is a lot different. I mean, this is not your 3 or 4. It's going to go past 30. Rams 20.
18-50, not looking too bad after all now, is it?
Yeah, no, it's really. I will say I think Brady. It's up to the first. Obviously, I mean it's. You don't really have to say a whole lot about it, but it's up to the Rams if they for that first quarter. You know,
And
if the Rams win that coin toss, that is going to be huge. Like as crazy as it sounds, this is Super Bowl, man. I don't know what the statistics are if you win that coin toss, but if you're an offensive team, you win that coin toss, you might defer. Actually, McVay might defer, but I wouldn't. You have that offense.
You go
the
up
Chiefs.
and you have to stay
The Chiefs
up.
didn't do it. At that time, I saw the Chiefs. They won the toss. I'm like, put your offense on that field, get that touchdown, and you saw they got that when they got the touchdowns in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They got it within like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You do that, you take away the atmosphere is going crazy for your guys on your defense. That didn't happen. The Patriots stole all that clock in the first quarter. Patriots win that coin toss. Oh man, that's gonna be bad.
And if
Patriots,
the Rams go up, they have to keep being aggressive, like the Eagles did last year. They can't pull a Falcons where you go up and then you play conservative and you end up losing. You have to keep pounding against the Patriots.
Yeah, it's no question about it. And this probably will be like MJ, six rings for Brady, and the dynasty for Belichick. So that's going to be insane. We're hoping that they lose, but listen, we're not going to doubt the Patriots at all. Not in this house.
Let's just hope for a good game.
Quick little update here. Saquon Barkley has won Rookie of the Year.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
I don't like that move at all. I think it should have been Patrick Mahomes, but hey,
No, he's not rookie.
He's not rookie.
Mahomes
Patrick,
not rookie.
this was his first.
It's not like it's his first full season, but he was a rookie last year, and he played one game last
Oh,
year.
that's not fair. He would have won it.
It's
In the
an
MLB,
award.
he would've won.
He would have won it by a landslide.
MVP. I think I'd rather have
It's an award that, like, all right, offensive rookie of the year, cool. I think Bradford won rookie of the year, and look what happened. So, like, listen, it's a cool award, but like,
It's not like
Yeah.
the MLB where you can win MVP. I mean,
yeah,
Rookie
right.
of the Year
Aaron
after
Judge,
that.
something like
He
that.
should have won
That type
MVP.
of thing, but
Should've.
but Baker, he was close to 30 touchdowns.
He
And-
broke the record for
Yeah.
rookies, but
And he didn't
Saquon
play
had
the
a
first
ton of
couple
rookie
games
records.
too, so that's going to be interesting. All right, we're going to sign out. All of us have the Pats winning. This is Sacred Heart Media Club signing out, and thank you for watching. We'll probably be doing something later on the next couple months, possibly March Madness. That's going to be in a month from now? That's going to be insane, right? So thank you for watching, and subscribe.